where do you see AI being used in Europe?
I think it's a big way ahead to really bring AI really into every business here in Europe. It's just we're just at the beginning of a new chapter of technology and chances.
Uh, Europe has been in industrialization phase for a very long time, and then world moved toward digital transformation, and now we are into AI. Do you think Europe will be able to adopt AI soon?
I think it will be done, but there still, I see many obstacles anyway. Yeah. So I think others will overtake us. Maybe others are much faster, especially maybe in the US, because there are many blockers still, in my point of view. But of course, yeah, it will come and it will develop very fast, but not as fast as could be.
See, European AI startup raised almost $25 billion in 2025. And on the other hand, US AI startup raised almost $146 billion. So why there is so much difference?
I think there's a broader acceptance in the US, for example. I think Europe is very securely oriented, so the startups and the investors, they are not like US companies to say let's go for it, let's do it. And here in Europe, many companies want to have this security, that security, and another big role plays the EU AI Act. And I think this is a big blocker for companies to really bring the full power into AI and AI development.
But if you notice that there is a company called ASML, the Dutch company.
Hmm.
They are the one who makes all the machines that prints the chips.
Hmm.
Their valuation is $500 billion, and Nvidia have $5 trillion evaluation. And even though Europe has the choke point,
Hmm.
they are not able to use it or leverage it. Why there is a difference? Why Europe is not ready for AI?
I think they are not believing in really what they're doing. Sorry to say this, because I think others, they bring much more energy, much more power, and they convince the investors, yeah, to push to bring much more money into the business. This is the only explanation I have, yeah, because Europe is, in this point of view, in my point of view, it's a bit unsecure for investments in this new technology, because nobody knows what comes next. Maybe there comes a new law out, yeah, like the EU AI Act, where certain things are not allowed, like GDPR, yeah. But it's I think they block themselves.
No, so like American investors have more risky capabilities than the European, even though the European market and the American market both have the same buying power,
Yeah,
because the same US company will go into Europe and they are able to onboard all the customers and there is a demand. But when a European company is trying to do the same thing, for example, so there are many companies, they came from Europe, and at the end of the day, when they were about to IPO, they went into New York,
yeah.
uh, no, stock exchange. So what's going in there? Even though there are some European unicorns are there, but when it time comes to IPO, they always choose New York. Why this is?
I think that's the uncertainty. It's just a matter of uncertainty, and this is totally different from US companies. Yeah, they just do it. That's the motto. Let's do it, and they're doing it. Yeah, and every company and every business is combined with a certain rest of risk. Yeah, every business is related to risk, but I think they are more willing to take risk than the Germans or than the Europeans. The Europeans want to be 100% security and 100% um, insurance that this works, but you don't have a guarantee for 100%. So every business is a challenge, and if you're not willing to take risk, that's it.
No, like I see Europe has been building amazing physical products like cars and and stuff like that. And when it comes to software, they don't have any solutions. Even they are trying to build. So Volkswagen, they build a software like Carriard,
Mhm.
and they hired 6,000 engineers, and then they fired the CEO and went with the US based company
Mhm.
for the collab. And even you have experience in logistics, and you can see all the softwares which are being used in logistics in EU. All of them are from 90s.
Yeah,
So why Europe is not able to advance their software industry or adapt the latest software technologies?
they do it now, but this goes very, very, very slow, much too slow. Go for my business, it's good, yeah, because as you said, yeah, many software is from the 90s, like Edifact, yeah, and still most of the companies are using it. So we have to implement it in our solution as well and offer this to the market. But still, many companies are at least thinking about new technologies and how they can implement it for future. But I think this is an extremely slowly process right now. But I cannot predict the future. I don't have a crystal ball, you know. Maybe it changes very fast in the next years. Nobody knows.
No, so you mentioned AI Act that European had. Mistral like lobbied about this as well, and then they paid like in Brussels they were trying to soften the AI Act, and they made some effort. And after 6 months, they went to Microsoft and raised money from them. So even though like there is sovereign AI and all that stuff going on, like
Yeah.
we need to build our own solution in Europe and stuff. At the end of the day, they go back to US investors to raise money or to launch or something. What is the main point that is stopping founders in Europe to stay in Europe and raise funds here?
The answer is the uncertainty. Just simple. In my point of view, it's just the uncertainty. If you have a big investment and if you say, okay, I invest my money in a business, you know, where I'm not 100%, but 90% sure that it will be a good investment for the next couple of years, instead of investing your money in a business or in software where you say, hey, wow, this is a really cool thing, yeah, but nobody knows what might maybe it's a cool thing, but next year a new law comes out, yeah, and prevents you from bringing the full capabilities and power of the software on the street, yeah. Then of course I would invest my money in a product or in a company where I know, okay, from the past I see that there will not be a change, yeah, in the next years. But in here in the EU, I think it's too many people try to make too many laws and bring in too many ideas at the same time. I think that's a bit confusing, and this is the blocker. But this is my personal meaning to that. Yeah.
And okay, as you're from Germany, so there was this Berlin airport project, and it got delayed by almost 9 years. And is this like the European engineering, is this still intact, or what happened there?
The BAR, the Berlin airport was one example. Yeah, we had the Philharmonie, yeah, in Hamburg. We have Stuttgart 21, Stuttgart 21. These projects are all delayed. Yeah. In simple words, to me, I'm sorry for that. Yeah, it's just the wrong and incapable project management and project managers. They were involved in this business. It's just that simple. You know, you always have, like, especially in project management, yeah, you cannot predict everything 100%. But this was a couple of 100%, yeah, that were missing the goal, and it's yeah, it's a pity. It's the same with the so-called Autobahnmaut system in Germany for the trucks. Yeah, Germany is high tech, or was high tech, really one of the best in the world, but they were not able to yeah to fulfill this project. Yeah, you know, everything was delayed, and until now, I think they still have problems. I don't know the details anymore, but you know, this is just some examples of a bunch of projects that went wrong.
By the way, their budget was I think 2 billion, and then it exceeded 7 billion. And we are shooting in Birmingham, and our council, they were trying to deploy Oracle ERP, and their budget was 19 million,
Mm-hmm.
and then it exceeded up to, I think it went to 200 million pounds. So okay, so what do you when it comes to European market, it is a big opportunity.
Absolutely.
So how, like today, how Europe should move, like even young founders or businessmen, how they should uh, move to a digital transformation, or they should directly jump to AI transformation? Because if you are using EDI or 90s standard softwares,
Mhm.
and then you need to move to the latest technologies first in order to run agents or LLMs or autonomous systems or vertical AI systems on them. What would you recommend for the people who owns the stake in this?
I would recommend just to give the people more confidence, to give startups more confidence, to give investors more confidence that Europe is, as you said before, is a very interesting, powerful market. Yeah, for also for investors, for ideas, for business. But yeah, the only thing is to motivate people and say, hey, what you're doing here, yeah, is a good thing, and it will be stable and not unsecure. And then I think we will bring more investors in startups again, because many startups here, especially in Germany, they get bankrupt in a very short period of time. It's a good idea, because the idea was there, and it was really starting like a rocket, but then they found some blockers, and the rocket exploded in the air. So that's the thing. That's the problem. That's really the problem.
So let's forget what is broken here. Like what is the biggest opportunity do you see right now in Europe? Like for example, the logistic market itself is like 1.2 trillion.
Trillion, yeah.
Yeah. And as we are talking about, like they are running on 90s software and their standards. How someone can leverage this opportunity with AI?
I would do it, or my suggestion is just to show that other technologies, new technologies work, have the right developers like we have, yeah, have motivated people, have inspired people with ideas who are using the latest technology stack, and then prove companies that you're already in business in proofs of concept, that your concept is working, that this is working better, cheaper, more reliable.
Okay.
So
Let's say you are starting from zero today, like right now.
yeah,
How would you take this approach?
I would try to find the pain in a need in a certain market. Like let's say logistics, to find the pain, and then to build a solution, promote a solution, but it's difficult. So it's very interesting for companies who already have business contacts, a business relationship, and then it's easy to convince the customers and show the customers new products, new solution, new ways to solve a problem. That's the only thing, because if you're no name, if you're just starting up and say, hey, oh, I tried to convince someone from my idea, it's always hard.
No, so it seems like that I don't know. Like it's my opinion, Europe has already lost the horizontal AI race. Like there are big models from like Claude, Anthropic Claude is there, OpenAI is there, and Grok, and there are so many. Llama even is there. So Europe has lost the horizontal AI race. Now, as you suggested that we should pick a niche, Europe can leverage these existing models and can go and build vertical AI systems for some boring industries. And it could help, like, for example, for factories, for hospitals, for logistics. And do you think, like, is Europe better placed for that than than we say?
We should make Europe a better place for this. And there are many examples, yeah, where AI is used, especially in health, in the healthcare market. So I think for skin cancer, they're using systems, yeah, to scan all the to scan the skin and predict possible cancer. And yeah, but it's less to less, yeah. So it should be much more, and much more ideas, much more investment, much more startups who were really trying to develop new things. It will come. There's no question. It will come, but the question is, how long will it take? Yeah, and or maybe others, yeah, now they are on the fast track, yeah, and just overtaking us. Because to me, it always seems that we're always one step behind. That's the problem. We have the technologies, we have the engineers, we have the ideas, we have everything, but we're just one step behind.
Okay. No, when it comes to innovation, physical products, like even yourself, you have won a innovation award for LEDs, and and then and and the same person, same moment you switch to software industry, or the software you need to power those physical products,
Mhm.
they are all from US companies.
Many, not
Many of
all, but many.
many.
Yeah.
So how they can fix this problem? I think software is everything. It's the soul in all physical products. And whenever there is a problem in Europe, the physical product, they always go to the US market or outsource them.
Mhm.
So how this, why Europe is not able to figure out software thing?
I think they are able they are able to do this, but in the end, the customer pays the money. Yeah, the customer pays the price, pays the money for software. So in the end of the day, we must convince customers that we have also very competitive products, maybe maybe even better products, and find ways to bring it into the companies. Otherwise, why should they switch? Why would you switch? If you have a running system and you're happy with that, and everything is working properly, so what is your motivation to switch? It's price, it's reliability, and it's technology. Are we prepared for future technologies? Yeah. And if I see my development or my product is a dead end development, where I say, okay, I can use it for, yeah, let's say a year, 2 years, but then I'm in the end of the road. Yeah, I cannot go on with proceed with my software. Then I never would buy it. I would never buy it. If I'm not prepared for the future, that's the thing.
No, I think digital transformation is the most expensive piece of theater in Europe. And like the big consulting companies from the US side, they are charging 6 7 figures of in Germany in order to just give advice and how to implement things, and then all the licensing also come from US. But you have been in corporate for 20 years. What went wrong when it comes to corporate leadership mindset in order to adopt technology?
It's the fear.
It's the
It's the European or German fear, yeah, to make a mistake, to do something wrong, because many decision makers, in the upper management, this is a very important thing, and this is what I have learned over the last years. Yeah, they are afraid to make a decision. They're really afraid to make a decision and say, "Hey, let's do it. Let's go for it. Let's try it. Yeah, this is good," because they are afraid to make the wrong decision and then lose their job. And the worst decision is no decision. And I've made so many decision makers who should make a decision and they delayed it, postponed it and whatsoever. Just get around not to make a decision. And so that's the impact on the whole business, on the whole company, on the employees, on everybody. Because if a leader is not able to make a decision in a company, it affects the whole success of the company. But this is very, very common. I met it with many decision makers. I had this experience, really.
no. So like in Europe, as an employee or team member, you have security, or they say you have security. And in the US, the mindset is totally different. Maybe because of the risk capabilities or the opportunities. Why we have always been pushed towards security in terms of job or business, not the risk capabilities. What went wrong there?
I cannot say this really, but I do. Yeah, it's the way we are, or how we have been educated over the last decades. Yeah, so I was taught, hey, if you have a job, you have a security and do this and that and behave like this and that and keep quiet. Just do your job, do it properly, and you have a secure job. This is wrong. Your security is 4 weeks or 6 weeks, and then you know, if a company wants to get rid of you, they will find a way to get rid of you. So there is no security. And my wish, I would really wish that that we have a change in mind, that we change our mindsets and say, hey, there's so many things to achieve, so many opportunities out there. It's a world full of opportunities and wonders. So let's go for it. Let's do it. Let's just be a bit more active than passive, you know, proactive, do something, not to wait until everything is changing around you. Be the one who makes a change. Be the one who really tries to do something. Be the one who goes out without any fear. And fear is always a bad thing in business.
True. And like, do you think like like US, there are 50 states and all of them they speak English. And here, after 20 kilometers, language changes, culture changes. Do you think that is a problem? That European founders are not unable to raise funds or make something that can go at scale, or is this just
I think it's not a really problem.
not
I think this is not really a problem because now everybody speaks English. Everybody at least sees what's going on in the English-speaking world. If you look over the ocean, yeah, or if you look to Great Britain or any other countries, because everybody speaks English, enough English to understand what's going on. I think this is really but this is my personal opinion. Yeah, this is really we need a change of mind. Yeah, we really need to be more active. That's as I said before.
no? See, when you go to the third world countries or a market where buying power is less, then you have a problem. But in Europe, the buying power is same as US market. And if you have to tell this to young entrepreneurs or the businessmen or the founders that the buying power is there, you just need to get the execution right, take more risk, and you can make a lot of money and you can dominate a vertical. How would you change that? What would you recommend them from the beginning?
I would say, as I said before, lose your fear, do something, yeah, be an entrepreneur, and an entrepreneur means to take risk, not useless risk. Yeah, you would never go and cross the autobahn. Yeah, close your eyes and cross the road. Not, I don't mean that. Yeah, but be aware that things might change. Be aware that you cannot predict the future. Be aware, on the other hand, that you have a big opportunity to get in business. Be aware that you might change the world. Be aware that you do something great. Yeah. But if you're not believing in you, if you're not believing in that you are able to do this, then it's better to leave it, not to do it. Yeah, better to go somewhere, do something different. But don't be an entrepreneur.
No, I think that when it comes to entrepreneurship, then your risk capabilities must be high. If and as an entrepreneur you are able to save money, then you are not an entrepreneur. And
Absolutely.
then if you are not worried about like how you are going to pay your team in next 3 months, then you are not an entrepreneur. You are not building something that can go into the masses and can go up at a scale level that where it dominates something. So okay, the entrepreneurship is like in if you go to San Francisco or if you go to any US state, everybody's an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Everybody has something on the side. And in Europe, you work 9 to 5 and you go home. How we can change this mindset altogether, massive level?
I think the question is if you really can change this mindset. I'm not sure if you can change this mindset. I think you cannot change people. You can change yourself. And if you change yourself and show others what you're doing, maybe you can become someone who others are looking at and say, hey, wow, this is cool what he did. I want to be the same, you know, like an influencer on YouTube. But I cannot change you. I cannot dance you. Yeah. If you want to learn dancing, you have to learn it. You have to look, hey, wow, this is nice steps. This is live movements. I want to learn this. Or if you want to play an instrument, yeah, I cannot make you play an instrument. Hey, play this instrument. No, this will not work. Yeah, that won't work. You should see something from others and say, hey, wow, this is cool. I want to do this. I want to learn this. I want to have this capability.
No, like if we change parenting techniques or mentorship or guidance to the school system, and maybe add 1 or 2 sessions or something like that, do you think it will raise the next generation of founders?
Oh,
Like
yes.
what's done, it's done. Okay, no, most of the people, they don't have these capabilities, they don't have the mindset.
Mhm.
And that's the reason every single thing came out of US. Like you make all the money and then you give it to one US company, whether
Yeah.
it's whether it's Apple or it's a AI model or whatever. And how if you have to change it for a, like say, for a child or from a very young age, then it should be possible. Or no?
Absolutely. This was a very, very, very good point. I think this is where we should start. This is very, very good. Yeah. Just teach it to the kids. Yeah. Start in the kindergarten. No, don't say, hey, you have to become a millionaire, but show them uh, that they should try something, do something without any fear, like parents said, oh, don't do that. Because if you do that, yeah, this is not good. Let them make an experience. Let them try something. Maybe they found out that it's still good, even if the parents say that's not good. Yeah. I don't mean that they should start drinking and smoking and doing substances, but give them a chance to develop themselves. Give them a chance to find their own personality, and important to believe in their own capabilities. I have from many people, I say, hey, have you ever tried this and that? And the answer is, no, I cannot do it. How do you know? Have you tried it? No, but I cannot do it. I will never try it, but I cannot do it. Why? If you're not tried, if you don't have tried it, how can you say that you cannot do it? But this is what I mean. This comes from the very, very, very past. Yeah, that maybe as a child you was told, oh, you cannot do this. Yeah, you cannot become this and that. You will never do this and that or achieve this and that. Last many, I think many of those beliefs come from the childhood, from what you were taught. And I think you're absolutely right when you say, hey, maybe we should start there. I think this is a very, very good way to bring another consciousness, so to bring another awareness to the people. And if you do it in very young years, I think many people will be more capable and bring the full power, develop the full power here in life. We all have so much power, but many people don't notice that they have so much power. I mean, good power to create, power to design.
No, so I think whenever I meet young entrepreneurs or even the people, the students who are just graduating from Europe or UK, they have best morality, best skill, and they can work really hard. And the only thing that it comes down to the maybe self-esteem or risk capability. And if you ask me that if somebody is graduating right now, I would recommend them go and find a plumber and extract 20 years of context out of it and build a vertical AI system, not a generic software, because now the software generation is very cheap. The thing which is to figure out is context and the distribution. And the same engineer who is gonna go work for Google or some big company in Europe or UK or US, if they do it this way, where they have to take a risk and go and find the context and figure out the distribution, they can build something. And I think almost all the verticals are available to tap on, like health, logistics, plumbing, or whatever is there. So if what would you recommend as someone who is in the university graduating soon? How should they pick a vertical and how they can execute it right?
That's a good question. I think in building connections and maybe make the first step into a certain branch, make their own experiences. But the most important thing is to build connections. Without connections, you can you can have the best product in the world. You can have a product, wow, that's so breathtaking. But if nobody knows your product, you will sit there your whole life with one of the best products ever and nobody will buy it. So if you have the connections, if you build your channels, if you build your connections, your contacts from as soon as possible in life, and have a good, what do you say, a good behavior and connecting others, a good mindset of how you're doing business, I think then you might be successful. Of course, you don't have a guarantee with every product. If you're isolated with the best thing, if you're isolated and live in your own world, in your own universe, yeah, you will not be successful. But I think it's also a question of showing presence. Showing presence means socialize, meeting others, meeting other partners in the same branch. Don't be afraid that somebody's taking your thing. Yeah, the market is big enough. The market is so big. Yeah. So many people say, I have to be careful because if somebody sees this and that, yeah,
Nobody cares.
nobody cares. There are billions of people, businesses out there who need your solution. So the cake is big enough for everyone to get a chunk. Yeah. Oh,
No, I think like maybe building network or something like that could go for a very long time. What if I think the best thing that is available now, if you go and find a credibility anchor, like you can find someone in logistics or I don't know, commercial real estate or
Mhm.
plumbing or like whatever,
Mhm.
and the person has 20 years of experience, 20 years of experience,
Mhm.
and that the context he's going to give you and the credibility anchor he's going to give you. Now, a young founder just need to do one thing, that is extract the context and build the right product for the vertical.
Mhm.
And then slowly it can dominate that vertical or industry.
Yeah.
That could, I think, work. But what would you change in EU? Like AI Defense Act is coming. Do you think it is too hard, or is this good for sovereign AI?
I don't need this. I do not need this in detail. Yeah, but from the past, what was when it was very harsh. Yeah, but I to be honest, I have not checked it right now. Yeah, but I think just to
Like
normally it should.
Llama said, like Zuckerberg said, we are not launching Llama. Then Apple has, I think there are so many things that Apple is not shipping to EU, like in software, or so many things are blocked. And
So what happened then? What happened then? If I want to have access, if I'm not allowed to use these technologies here, yeah, if I'm not allowed, it's a joke, yeah. Then of course I will try to get access because it's the latest technology. I need to have access to see how it works. So what am I doing? Maybe I go to a different country then, or using channels, yeah, to sign in there and to look how this works. But even if I can see how it works and I'm not allowed to use it here, yeah, then the only possibilities if I really want to have access to want to get access to this technology is to go somewhere different, to a different place. Take my company, set up a new company in a region or country where I can use it. So I will not be competitive if I'm only allowed to sell cars with 3 wheels, yeah, and the others all have 4 wheels, but our access now here in this area only 3 wheels are allowed. I will not win a Formula One. I can never ever be competitive. How can I?
what did you, like you have been in the industry for almost 20 years, and you build a product, and it was a physical product, you won an award, and where is it now? What did you learn from that process?
How do you mean?
The LED project.
Then okay. Yeah, I had a very, very cool product once. I was developing it. I was young. I had a good idea. I was just in the beginning of light emitting diodes and I built a very, very cool system. And I was so happy with my product. Yeah. And the thing was, I was too slow. Every product had a certain life cycle. Yeah. Every product has a life cycle and every product will be copied sooner or later or find competitors. And yeah, I was not fast enough. It's a shark basin. Yeah, if you have new ideas, if you develop something new, you have really to be quick. And big mistake that I made that time, I had opportunities that I was not taking chance of. I had very, very good opportunities of companies that said, Thomas, this is a really, really cool product and we want to distribute it for you. And I said, no, I do it my own, And instead of using the offer, using existent distribution channels, So I did it the hard way. I tried it my own, and yeah,
And where is it?
it's
Sorry,
gone.
Dad.
I sold a couple. I sold a couple of thousand products, but this
Then it died.
in the end, then it died.
Okay.
As I told you, the life cycle was done, yeah, and it died.
So if you build a product which was really good, you won an award for that, you had patent, but you couldn't build distribution and did not take the opportunity for distribution, and there was speed element as well, that just killed the company.
Right. If you don't have distribution channels or marketing channels that you know go to LinkedIn, you have thousands and millions of promises every day. People say, "Oh, come on, we make sure that you sell your products like sliced bread." Yeah, but that's not that.
No,
That's
so it was what it was like. It was an equity problem or profit share problem. Why you did not take on that distribution opportunity?
with my problem with my product.
Yeah.
I thought that I might lose money.
Oh,
I was too greedy and said, I make much more money if I distributed my own. Yeah.
mhm.
But I didn't have the channels, and I didn't have the connections. I didn't have all this. I just had a very, very cool product that time. And this was something I would do totally different. If I would have such a product again, yeah, I would exactly know where to go to. I would exactly know what kind of distributors I would approach to bring it into the market. And I would say, okay, this is a share I have. Yeah. And I would totally evaluate it totally different from a commercial side, from a business side. Yeah.
Now I think when it comes to equity, when you look at US startups, the US founders are not scared to share the piece of equity with anyone, even with Indians or Pakistanis software engineers. You see the cursor example, right? There is an Indian, there is a Pakistani, a US,
Mhm.
and on this side, people want to keep all the equity, which is just a number on the paper, to themselves,
Yeah.
and then the company dies. Do you think it happens often, or it's just
It
not
happens. It happens much too often.
in Europe side or US side as well?
In both sides, I would
Okay.
say. In both sides. I would say, and that's all was from my experience, not in my company, but I saw it in a different company. So they would get all the value out of a product, the services, the development. It was a software product, and I said, hey, focus on what you're doing. What you're doing is developing software. Yeah, give the value to distributors, to partners, because this is their motivation to bring your product into the market. But if you say, no, well, it's all mine, I do it all alone, why should you motivate others to sell your product? Why? So if they don't have a value, if they're not able to generate value in distributing it, so might work, but in my experience, it will not work the way it could work when it comes to revenue,
No, like today, would you still go and do it on your own? So now the tools that are available for the marketing and sales,
Mhm.
and there are so many social media and things are available, you might be able to figure it on your own. You would still take the distribution opportunity with a partner.
I
If you
would
have a good product, would you go find a distribution partner? Or
absolutely many,
still,
not one, many.
do you have any use cases in your mind, that exact use cases that anyone can tap on, like in logistics?
I have use cases, not only logistic, like the data integration market. Yeah, we are with our solution. We have many competitors on the market, but our solution is very reliable now. It's new. It's a really no code attempt, not only words. It's really working properly. It is a very fast, quick tool built. Tool sounds easy, but it's big now. But it's the latest technology stack with one of the best developers in our developer team ever. Yeah, they really did such a great job, and we are quick, we are fast, and yeah, we can. I would say we cover more than 90% of the needs in data integration. And the rest 10%, yeah, we do on demand.
And okay, so this is the last question. You are from Germany, and I have been to Germany, and I am from Pakistan. Have you been to Pakistan?
I have never been to Pakistan, but I definitely will.
Mm-hmm. By the way, we have second most capital, and we have amazing food and great hospitality. And I think on behalf of people of Pakistan, I invite you to visit our country. You'll love it.
I will come, and I will come with you, and I will try the food. I already tried the food, and it was amazing.
Thank you.